Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Tubby Time. I hope you are all doing well. We are going to do something a little differently today, and instead of just cooking something, we are going to do a review and cook something. Let's get into it. Here we have my good friend, the Cuisinart bread machine. And this is amazing. This is something that is not necessary in your kitchen. But once you use it, once you see how it's been used, you're gonna need it. It's amazing. We've had it for about a year and a half. I knew we needed it when we bought the house and we moved in. And it's because it makes life so much simpler and easier. To make regular bread, it's long, it's a pain, and this makes it 10 times easier. Just to explain everything here, I'm gonna open it up, and in here, we've got this little bucket, and this is where you put all your ingredients in. And then right in here, that's what heats it up, and that's the locking mechanism for this. And what you do when you put it back in is you kind of put it at an angle, and then you just turn it, and that's it for locking. If you try to pull up, it doesn't come up. So it's really simple. You just take it out, put it on the counter, and put all your ingredients in. And in here is this little removable mixer, which is pretty good when you want to clean it. You can just take it off, and that's it. I'm going to turn it on just to show you how the programs look. So all these numbers show different kinds of bread that you make. So number 1 is white bread. Number 8 is dough. So if you go to program, right now it would make white bread. But let's say you want to make dough. So you keep on pressing program until it gets to number 8. And then it would make dough, and it'll tell you how long it'll take, 1 hour and 30 minutes. Let's say if you wanted to make regular white bread, you keep pressing it till it goes back to 1. And you can choose the color. So if you press the color, it can be dark, medium, or light, depending on how toasted you want the outside to be. You can also choose the size of bread that you want. If you press that, you can make it 2 pounds. It'll take longer to cook. You can do 1 pound or 1.5 pounds. So besides the actual bread machine, it comes with a few other things. It comes with this little hook, which you're supposed to be able to take this and lift it up. I think it's useless because you can pull the handle up, but you still need to put an oven mitt on in order to take it off because it's so hot. It also comes with a quick reference guide and Spanish instructions. I'm glad we still have those. And last but not least, it comes with a recipe booklet, and this is amazing. If you open up, the table of contents will tell you all different kinds of different breads that you can make. You can do whole wheat breads, sweet breads, different doughs. It's great. So if you come over to this first page, basic white bread, and that's what we're going to be doing today. And if you decide to do the large loaf, it'll tell you the ingredients and how much to use, small, medium, very straightforward, very simple, very helpful. One thing to mention while this is baking, about halfway, 1/3 of the way through the cooking process, the machine will do this beeping noise. And that actually means that it will allow you to lift the lid and add an extra ingredient, if the recipe calls for it. Sometimes when I do white bread, I just put Italian seasoning with all the other ingredients. I don't wait till the beeping, just because it's something so simple. But if you want to do a cranberry or walnut, that halfway cooking process will then allow you to open it up, throw it in, and close it, and it'll continue to bake. Pros and cons about this. Like I said, it's super easy, very user-friendly. All you do is throw your ingredients in here, put it in the machine, set the program, and your bread will be done in, 3.5 hours, depending on the kind of bread that you pick. If you were to make bread yourself or make dough yourself, you have your KitchenAid, you've got all your ingredients, it's messy, it takes hours, you have to set it aside, 1 hour later, you have to take it out, you have to knead it. You have to knead it, then you set it aside, you let it rise for another hour, then you take it. It's time consuming, it's annoying. And this just makes it easy, simple, clean. It's great. Cons are this little handle that is removable, this little mixer. It can get stuck in the bread, and it's happened to me before. It was making the bread, and that little halfway beep mark, I could have taken the dough out and removed this. I didn't know, and it's a pain because if I'm out for a few hours, I'm not, I have to come home and remove this little paddle. So once the bread was all done, I took it out, totally forgot about this, and gave the bread as a gift to someone, and this was in there, which would have been really bad, like if they were like trying to cut it. I don't even know what ended up happening to it, but you can forget about this, so try really hard not to, because it's bad. The good thing about it removing is that it's easy to clean. You can just throw it in the dishwasher, and then you won't get like little bread pieces or dough pieces stuck in it. Another con is this little handle with this tool. They try to make it easy for you, but it's hot. So if I tell Josh, oh, take the bread out, I have to remember to tell him, use something for this handle because it's metal and it'll burn you. Because
I'm stupid, apparently.
Because the whole thing is hot in here. It's easy to forget. You're just like, oh, let me take the handle. And it's just as hot as everything else. But I think that's the only con I have. If you do get another brand of bread machine, some of these paddles don't actually come off. So it's one less con that you even have to work with. I got this specific brand because it was at Home Depot, and we had about 1 million gift cards when we had our housewarming. So this brand looked good. I knew my mom had this brand. I bought it. But there are so many different kinds out there. There are a few different sizes. I don't really think it matters which one you get. They last a long time. The last one my mom had lasted for like almost 20 years. So that's all my pros and cons. Now we can actually get into baking the bread. Here we have all the ingredients to make the bread, and we are just going to go down the list. I'm going to do the medium 1.5-pound loaf and just put them in. We're going to start with 1 cup and 2 tablespoons of water. Then we are going to cut our butter in smaller chunks. They obviously don't have to be even cuts. I just break it down so it's easier to mix up when it is in the machine. And this is 2 tablespoons of butter. You only need 2 teaspoons of sugar, 1¼ teaspoons of salt, 3 cups of flour, 3 tablespoons of dry milk, which is this buttermilk blend, and then 1 teaspoon of instant yeast. And that is it for basic white bread. The one thing I add extra is Italian seasoning, and I just eyeball it. That looks good. Plugged in the machine, opening the lid. Now you're gonna put it in the machine, gonna put it in diagonally, turn to lock it. You can put the handle down either way, doesn't matter. One thing I did forget to tell you is when you are putting ingredients in here, take this out and put the ingredients in here and close the lid. Because if the lid is open and you forget you took this out, you could start putting ingredients in here, and that would not be a good thing. I've done it before. All right, locking it, closing the lid. We're gonna start it. This is white bread, so it's already on the number 1. It's already the size is 1.5 pounds, and for the color, I like it medium. And that's it. It'll take 3 hours, 25 minutes. We're gonna press start. And as you can see, it says knead right there. It's the first time it's kneading, and you can actually see it kneading in there. It's pretty awesome. I'm gonna set this aside. It'll be done 3 hours, 25 minutes. If I'm not here, if you're out doing something and you're not back at that exact time, it's not a big deal. It'll stay in here. It'll stay warm for a bit, and you can take it out later. Time is up. It has been well over the 3.5 hours. The bread has been done. It's been long enough that it's actually cooled. So I don't have to worry about burning myself. Look at that. I can already smell it.
So easy.
So, con If you let it cool in here, it's gonna be a little hard to take out. There we go. And look at that, the paddle stayed in. Pro, the paddle is not in the bread. So if you let this cool in the bucket, it'll be a little hard to take out, but you won't lose the paddle. If you try to take the bread out of the bucket when it's still warm, the paddle will most likely be in here. Now that that's done and over with, let's do our taste test. Move over. Can you? All right, I'm gonna cut it like this. Oh, that's not even cut. Oh well.
Wow, you're so good at cutting bread.
This is the inside of our bread. The little green pieces are the Italian seasoning that I added. Here you go.
And look at this. Wow. So much better than store-bought, I would say.
Cheaper.
I didn't even know that, this wasn't store-bought because it's so good. Oh my God. Put some butter on there.
A little bit of butter. You can toast it, use it for sandwiches.
You can make toast out of this bread if you didn't know.
No, I'm just saying like homemade bread is really good toasted.
So, did you mention how because this is homemade bread, it does tend to get moldy faster?
Oh, yes. That has nothing to do with the bread machine. But if you are going to do homemade bread, a good thing to note is yes, because there's all fresh ingredients, it can get moldy faster. So I would, you can cut it up and put it in a Ziploc bag, or you can leave it like this and cut it up when you want it. But I would put it in a sealed bag and probably keep it in the fridge. That way it takes longer to get moldy.
The one thing to note too is that this bread, I don't want to say it's drier, but it's fresher, but it's drier, but in a good way. Like there's no preservatives or anything like that, so it's really good. But it's not going to be as moist because there's not as many disgusting chemicals, if you will, that are in the bread you buy at the store. So
if it's dry, just add some butter, put it in the microwave.
Exactly.
Anyway, this is a great way to make bread. It's simple, it's not messy. What it comes down to is just buy a bread machine, keep it in your house. You may not use it every day, but it is amazing and you will be happy that you got one. Bread machines are available in a lot of different places. We got ours, like I said, at Home Depot. You can get it on Amazon, Target, Walmart, wherever. We will add a link to this video so you know where you can buy one. They range different prices. I think we got ours for around $80, but there are cheaper ones, there's more expensive. Depends on how fancy you want your bread machine to be. So anyway, check this out, buy a bread machine, keep watching our videos, like, comment, subscribe, stay healthy and safe, and until next time, stay tubby.